It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
What? Yeah. All right, guys. Lee Sanders here from the RCWR Show. We are joined by a special guest in WOW Women of Wrestling's own Foxxy Fierce. Foxxy, thank you for taking the time out to do this. Yeah, what is going on, girl? How you been?
Thank you for having me. And I've been well. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're doing this on this nice President's Day. We're just several days removed from the Super Bowl and a whole lot of, right? I mean, we're deep in the Black History Month and all that. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I've been checking out your work on WOW this season, and I gotta say, of all the standouts, no bull, you definitely stand out to me the most. I love your athleticism, your flair, your style, your pizzazz. You're bringing it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm flattered. I appreciate you.
No problem. And I see in my brief research in checking up on you, doing some homework on you, I see that you're actually from right here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And I'm going, nothing pleases me more as a wrestling fan than when I see somebody from the DMV that's doing big things, you know, shout out Dave Bautista and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so could you talk about some of your positive influences that you had from out here growing up? Because you know this, if you can make it in the DMV, you can definitely make it anywhere, right? Can you talk about some of your positive early influences that ultimately got you on the path that you're on now?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think one of the great things about being in the DMV is that you can find community with other Black people and be surrounded in spaces where, you know, people are up on their history, on their knowledge about themselves, they're confident in themselves. So, you know, just by virtue of being in environments like that alone, I found myself able to cultivate a really strong sense of self, of who I am and who I am in a broader context. With that being said, you know, I think some of my strongest influences came out of my education at Howard University. You know, shout out to HU, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, just being in that historic environment surrounded by intellectuals and people who are not only teaching the upcoming generation to do their thing, but who are also out in the world actively doing their thing. You know, just all of that combined has really helped build me up. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. I always say, if it's not about positivity, I don't want anything to do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you get started going into the wrestling business and all that?
Yeah, so initially, I was just always very athletic growing up. You know, I wasn't ever huge into organized sports, but I did do them here and there. You know, I did track for a little while, a little bit of basketball here and there, a little soccer, gymnastics, all that. So, you know, getting my feet wet with different things. But I really got into my own athletic and fitness journey when I started doing yoga, actually, which is, you know, the complete opposite of wrestling, if you will, very peaceful and tranquil. But, you know, I ended up getting certified in yoga and acro yoga, which is the more acrobatic gymnastics type form of yoga. And then from there, I also got involved with roller skating to the point where I was doing it professionally and getting commercial work, doing it in music videos, things like that. So just, constantly taking care of myself and being an athletic that way, exploring fitness through those avenues. When I found out about WOW and heard about the tryout, I was like, okay, well, they're looking for athletic women. I'm an athletic woman. Let's see what happens. So it was a little bit of a little bit of a shot in the dark, if you will. But I was like, let's just see.
Okay, so walk us through. You try it out. You do the tryout. Did you have any nerves? Were you just okay? Hey, this is cool. Okay, I'm into this. Let's see what this is about. One of my best friends, I remember when she had tried to do the first WWE Tough Enough tryout. We did her whole video package, her pumping iron. We had her 8x10s, all of that. And then we went to New York, and Tommy Dreamer and a couple other guys, they were there. And it was weird because she was going, okay, I got this. I got this. And then once she gets there, she was just a deer in the headlights. She couldn't talk. And she actually was eliminated because she couldn't talk. So it was like, come back, try us again. What was the whole process for you like going into the tryout there?
Yeah. So I think whenever you care about something, you are going to be a little bit nervous, have those butterflies. So I did have that. But, like I said, used to doing like commercial roller skating and getting up teaching yoga classes. I was kind of used to harnessing that nervous energy and like turning it into something that's useful and that, I can actually use to my advantage. So yeah, that was a factor. But like when I got there, and what I think is really unique and wonderful about WOW is that the environment is just welcoming and positive, and you can really tell that everyone involved is there to support you and not to break you down or anything like that. So being in that environment, I felt like, okay, even though I have nerves, even though this is something new to me, I think this is a space where I'm safe and where, I can try new things and explore. So yeah, it was a good experience for sure. Yeah.
Okay, right on. Okay. So can you talk a bit about what it's like being able to work with great coaches and minds from Selena Majors, Jesse Jones, Malaya Hasaka, AJ Mendes? What does it mean to you personally to be able to have access to those great minds?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I'm just so appreciative of them taking the time to do that because not everybody teaches or not everybody wants to impart their wisdom onto up and coming people. So just the fact that they're willing to do that, I'm just honored and humbled that they would be willing to be with us in that space. But it's truly wonderful. You learn something different from each and every person, every different style of wrestling. There's just always something to take away. And I think that's sort of unique in a way because, I think it's easy to get into a wrestling school and just have the same trainers and you're, learning a single style and that's all. But, having just that diversity of backgrounds and opinions and, it really helped me. And I think, some of the other people that came up with me, it helped us, I guess, be able to craft our own style in a way because we just have so many options, so many things coming at us. So, it's a wealth of knowledge to work from, if you will.
Okay, can we give AJ Mendes her flowers? Because
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, from the moment that it was announced that she was joining WOW, I mean, just unanimously across the board, we on the outside looking at as wrestling fans, we're going, well, this is a major assist for WOW. What's it mean to you to be able to access all the years that she's been involved, and she was definitely able to do it at the highest level? And what's it like being able to get that help when you need it from her?
Yeah, it's almost tough to put into words because some of this stuff, it just feels so surreal, going from, doing my yoga roller skating thing to, oh, I'm here with AJ Lee, I'm here with AJ Mendes, it's so in that way, it's just mind blowing almost. But yeah, I mean, she's just a joy to work with. She's so supportive and she's there for all of us, imparting her knowledge, sharing that wisdom that she has from years working in wrestling and, being at the top of her game. So to be within arm's reach of somebody who has her background it's fantastic.
Right on. And I want to ask you now, you talked about the whole music videos that you did. I got to pick your brain on something here. So how much of that music video experience helped you in making the transition to doing what you're doing in front of a live audience for a taped show? Did you kind of feel you were, okay, you know what, I'm in my element, this really isn't anything new, or was it a combination of that previous experience from the music videos, combining it with, okay, what's going on here as far as taping in front of an audience? What was it like for you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I definitely think having that background worked to my advantage. Because, whether it's taping wrestling or a music video or whatever, there are a lot of the same elements where it's like, okay, like we need you to be on. It's time, it's money, the cameras are rolling, like, let's get it.
Yeah.
So, I think in that way, I was kind of prepared for whatever might happen, because that's just the nature of anything that's filmed or on tape. It's like, we got to make it happen one way or another. So yeah, in that way, I think it really helped me out.
So I had received a couple of emails from some fans of the show who love your work. As soon as they found out I was interviewing you, they said, "Yo, Lee, hook me up, man." So one of the burning questions that I was asked to ask you, and you don't have to put any spoilers out, but one fan, I'll give him a shout out. Shout out to Gary from Indiana. He goes, "Lee, can you please ask Foxxy, this respected season of WOW, are we going to see how things are going to pan out with the Beast relinquishing the championship some weeks ago? And is Foxxy Fierce possibly going to be involved in the picture, yo? Because I definitely think she needs to be the next WOW champion." So you take that, you run with that, but I had to forward that to you.
Oh yeah, well, Gary's out here he's asking the hard questions. All right, so big ups to Gary for that one. I can't really divulge too much. All I can say is that Foxxy, I'm always after that title. So there's that, and just tune in. You have to wait and see, Gary. You'll find out.
There you go, Gary. You gotta wait and see. Like everybody, I tried to tell him, I'm like, I'll ask it. I was like, I'll ask it, but you ain't gonna get
asking.
Right? That's what's up. So, all right. So I got a really fun question for you here, because I mean, like I said at the top, we're still in the middle of Black History Month and everything, and I'm feeling, I don't know if you were getting the same vibe, but it was just so surreal going back several days ago to that Super Bowl, seeing Rihanna do her thing, and then we got Patrick Mahomes, and then we've got Jalen Hurts. Now watch how I throw this back on wrestling. So you got this great diversity now more than ever that's going on. Don't matter the promotion that you check out, right? Yeah. And WOW Women of Wrestling, credit to David Mclane, always ahead of the curve, always. What does it mean to you as a woman, as a Black woman, to see all the great diversity and representation in the industry that you love? Because I mean, you can easily go back 15, 20 years, not that long ago, and it wasn't quite like of the magnitude where it is now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm truly filled with gratitude that we're at this point now. And, it's bittersweet in a way, because it is frustrating. You can get into the thought pattern of, well, why wasn't it sooner? Why did people have to work so hard and grind so hard just to get to this point where, Black people are receiving even a modicum of the recognition that, people from other backgrounds and ethnicities might receive. But with that being said, like you mentioned, WOW is always ahead of the curve. WOW is, it's not just something that WOW is doing because it's convenient or because it's like, all right, we got to catch up with the times. Like, showcasing women's stories and their backgrounds and what makes them unique and makes them individuals is something that Women of Wrestling has always been about. So to come into that environment as a Black woman and to be encouraged fully, to hear people say, no, we don't want like some kind of cookie cutter, you fit in with the crowd type thing. Like, we want you to bring your full self and all of your experiences, your entire background to the table. Like, that's just something to be thankful for, and, something that I think is truly unique.
Right on, right on. So I've seen you, and many other WOW fans have seen you now in singles action and tag team action. What's your preference?
I mean, I think there definitely benefits to both, and I learned so much with both. Tagging with Chantilly is always fantastic. I've tagged with Tiki as well. So with Chantilly specifically, her having a lot more experience in the industry than I do, it's, I glean something every time I'm in the ring with her. So she's the most fantastic tag partner anyone could ask for. However, I do enjoy a good singles match. I think I get to explore my little foxiness even more when I'm doing my one-on-one thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
That's what's up. Well, as we wind down, can you let the good folks know how they can check out WOW Women of Wrestling? I'm always asked that every single week. I do my best to answer, but I want to let the pros let the folks know how they can tune in and represent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the basics are, of course, check your local listings. But even if you're having trouble with that, you can go to wowe.com and you can even type in your zip code and find exactly where WOW is going to be for you.
Exactly.
But yeah, and if you want to check me out specifically, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter at FoxxyFierce_WOW.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the lovely Foxxy Fierce of WOW Women of Wrestling. Foxxy, thank you so much for doing this. Means a lot to us and our audience. Appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Lee.
Thank you.